Welcome everybody to Ask the Pink Hat. I'm hoping you can hear me. We are here on Friday. Happy to report to you from San Diego. So while we're waiting for people to join us, I'm going to let you know that I am doing fine. A lot of you guys out there are part of our community, and you know that San Diego has had some high winds and some evacuations and fires and, just the casual 2020 stuff, right? Another day in 2020. So just wanted to let you guys know. For those of you who expressed concern, thank you very much, but we're fine. As you can tell, I'm reporting from the hotel room. Okay? And so live, you are here on Friday. Happy Friday on Ask the Pink Hat. My name is Jasmine Willois. I'm the co-host of Naked Notes, and I'm going to bring Natosha Navarro in here as well. We're going to talk to you about what's happening as well with the Nap Nation. So let's start with our assistant, Latrice. How you doing there today?
Hey, I'm doing good. You caught me. I was looking somewhere else.
Girl, trust me, we all catching me in the hotel room. We're just glad to have you. And thanks for spreading the word that I'm safe here in the hotel room from all the evacuations and fires and winds that's going on. Just another day for 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm just glad to be back. I think I've been gone for 3 weeks from Ask the Pink Hat.
It's been amazing, but we've been having a good time and we're excited to have you back. Tell us what and where people can find us for the next week as far as our up and coming events.
Actually, we have quite a few. So we have our last Coffee and Notes Saturday, tomorrow, 8 a.m. Okay. Pacific Standard Time, the last one of 2020. So you got to be there. We have our Inner Circle meeting. If you own at least one note, you are welcome to attend the Inner Circle meeting, which is going to be on December the 10th, Thursday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
And so that Inner Circle meeting is for advanced investors, advanced investors. I'm tongue-tied today. So if you, like she said, if you're part of the community, you're an experienced investor, that's your meeting to show up to. But the last and other final public meeting for new people, right? And we got a lot of people saying welcome back, by the way. We got Nadine from Australia, right?
Thank you.
Hello. Harrison, looks like he's out there in quarantine in Sydney.
Oh, all right.
So everyone wants to say hello to you before you tell us what the last event is, and where will people find that?
All right, so our last one is going to be our Lunch and Learn. That is going to be on December 17th, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. And of course, you can come to our page, to Note Assistance Program page. You can call me. I'll send you the link. LinkedIn. We're everywhere.
All right. So we've got 2 public events. That's Coffee and Notes. That's this Saturday, as in tomorrow. Bring your coffee mug and join us. Just share our success stories, wrap up the year, and communicate and hang out with the Nap Nation. And we'll probably drop some surprise inventory because we dropped $10 million worth of UPB. We'll get to that later. Right? And then you said the other one was going to be the Lunch and Learn. So those are going to be your 2 final public events to come and hang out with the Nap Nation online at Zoom. And Latrice Nervous, you're going to hang out in chat, right?
I'm about to go run there right now.
Awesome. So she's going to be available via on the chat. So go in there and type to her. She'll let you know how to communicate with us. She'll get you the link. We're going to get Natosha on there. And we have a very special guest for you today. I'm just so excited to let you know. Many of you already know. A lot of you already know. That's why we're racking up the likes here. So let's get on to Natosha. Thanks, Latrice.
Bye.
See you later. All right, guys, listen. As I said, I'm reporting from the hotel room in San Diego. I'm bringing in Natosha Navarro. She's obviously the other co-host of Naked Notes, right? You guys know us, right? We're famous. Well, let me see if I can get her in. Natosha!
I was like, am I the special guest?
You're special guest number 1.
I feel very special. Thank you.
Of course.
How are you? I'm good. We've been so busy this week. Normally, December is like a chill month for us, but not so much.
I know we'd probably be on vacation by now, I think, or heading there.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, before I haven't gotten to see you either. You're in Southern California. How you doing with the fires? Everything's going fine with you? There was one nearby, right? Or
yeah, there was one like 20 minutes away. We always seem to be in this little pocket that we're protected from, like the wind and the fires and stuff. So we're doing great. We're
good.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, before we jump into anything, we want to say hello. We've got a special guest, Bob Dalton, here. He's in the tow waiting to speak to you guys. Let's say hello to Stephanie Fowler. She's actually part of the Nap Nation. Say hello to her. Looks like we've got Stan.
Man.
That's New York City right there representing. And as we mentioned before, we have Nadine. Harrison's out there. Guys, if you are just tuning in, newsflash, Harrison is our new hire.
Yes.
That's news. Right? New
Our
trainer.
new trainer. Yeah.
You're working with him. What do you think about that?
I mean, he's all right. No, I'm just kidding. He's amazing. So, for those of you guys that know, I'm pregnant. I'm going to be taking time off when the baby comes in March. And so we wanted to start looking for someone within our community, ideally, that could take over some of my responsibilities. And training is my baby. So, of course, I'm very selective about who we bring in, but I think we've made an excellent choice with Harrison. He's going to be a great addition. Be nice to have a little bit of testosterone within the executive.
Yeah, a little bit. He's bringing it all, right? And we're excited.
Yeah.
We're excited to have our first male trainer of the program. So, hey, Josh Williams out there, one of our golf fans. So, speaking of golf, this is a great way to get into it because I met Bob Dalton on the golf course, right? And so I really want to let you know that one of the ties that we have is one of our greatest friends, Jeff Goldstein. So shout out to Goldstein Golf out there. If you guys are in Southern California, check him out, right? He gives some tremendous lessons. My son's actually going to be signing up with him beginning of 2021. So golf is a lot of places where a lot of business gets done, right? And you're going to meet a lot of powerful people. And so what's unique about this, guys, have you heard about, what's the name of the program again?
Of what? You're on mute. You muted yourself.
Great. All right. So as I was saying, golf is one of the things that keep us connected. Okay. And I met Bob Dalton on the golf course. And that's what I'd like to transition in because Josh Williams, he's one of our members. He's a golf fan. So that made me think, boom, great way to transition into Mr. Dalton. We have a friend in common. His name is Jeff Goldstein. I want you to take a minute and check out him in San Diego because he gives professional golf lessons. Okay. And he's so good at it that my son's going to be training with him too. He's old enough to do that. But the reason I bring that up is that a lot of business is done on the golf course, right? And one of the things that we've decided to get together to do that's very dear to Natosha's heart. Do you remember the name of his campaign? It's so awesome, right?
Yeah, so he has a campaign. I mean, his company is called Sackcloth and Ashes, but he has a campaign called Blanket the United States. And so we are part of that, and we're going to be giving to one of my charities that I have been volunteering at for the last 8 years. That it's near and dear to my heart. So I'm excited. I haven't met him, so I'm excited about this.
Well, let's just bring him in. I mean, I'm sure he's ready. He's a man of action from what I know. Okay. So let's get Mr. Dalton in there and see if he can hear us. Bob, are you with us?
I'm with you.
All right. How you doing, man? It looks like you might be cold wherever you are.
I am cold. I'm up in Oregon right now.
Oh, I'm jealous. I'm pregnant, so I keep waiting for it to get cold here in Southern California, but it's still like 70 something degrees, so I can't bundle up.
I know. It's freezing cold up here and beautiful weather, though, nonetheless.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, we love our season. So let's jump into things, Mr. Dalton. I'm very excited to have you here. Thanks for blessing us with your presence. It looks like you're busy as always. We have a few questions for you, and we want to hear more about everything that you're doing at Sackcloth and Ashes.
Yeah, I would love to.
So Bob,
you want to hear a little backstory?
Yeah, I was like, I'm really excited because I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you yet. So we're going to be working together. I'm really excited about that. But I actually just spent some time going over your website and reading more about your company. And I was so blown away just by the story of how it got started. So I thought it'd be very important for, if you have a few moments, to tell people why you started.
Yeah, for sure. So I launched Sackcloth and Ashes back in 2014, and the whole concept of it was inspired by my mom who lived on the streets. And it was through her journey of experiencing homelessness that completely changed my paradigm of how I view and understand homelessness, because I would judge people on the street, and I had kind of the bias of people on the street of like, you should have worked a little harder, or you should have made better choices with your life. But my mom, being the hardest working woman I know, completely blew that bias up. And through her journey, it inspired me to actually do something about the issue. And I started calling local homeless shelters in my area to ask what they needed, and they all said blankets. And so I came up with the idea that for every blanket that I sell, I'll donate a blanket to that person's local homeless shelter. And so I really wanted to, the one-for-one model had already existed for a while from companies like Tom's and Warby Parker. But I really wanted to localize the model. And because homelessness is so prevalent here in the United States, I wanted to give people an opportunity to make a difference down the street from where they live. So if you buy a blanket and you live in Austin, Texas, we'll send a blanket to a homeless shelter in Austin, Texas. If you live in Nashville, Tennessee, and you buy a blanket, we'll send a blanket to a shelter in Nashville. So really wanted to localize the model because there's so many different incredible homeless shelters and grassroots organizations around the United States that do need blankets. And I launched the company with a sewing machine and a roll of fabric from Joann's. Shout out to Joann's Fabric.
my mom's favorite store.
Yeah, and I would stand in line and take a little ticket and wait in line and buy a bunch of fabric. And I bought a sewing machine, and I realized really quickly I can't sew.
I was going to ask you. You do know my question was like, so time out.
Yeah, no, it was I can't thread a needle. That was the problem.
Detail.
And so I found a sewer in my community. Her name was Tammy, and she started making blankets for me. And I'd box them up and drive up and down the Oregon coast, walking into shops and just letting shop owners know, like, if you buy blankets from me today, I'll donate blankets to your local homeless shelter.
Nice. And
got into like 20 shops out of 200 and found the best photographer I could find. And on June 1st, 2014, sackclothandashes.com went live, and it totally looked like I knew what I was doing.
There you go. There's entrepreneurship involved. Lovely.
You know what's interesting about what you were saying is I do Big Brothers Big Sisters, and so I started volunteering at this homeless shelter with my little girl, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And when we first started, it was the same kind of like mentality of, she was kind of scared to go there because you have this impression of what it's going to be like to be around people that have had challenges and are now homeless. But then you realize they're just people that have stories, and people that, through no fault of their own, typically are in a situation like this. So I thought of any of the charities that we've given to, I think they're all very worthy causes. But for me personally, this was something that really spoke to me. So I'm grateful for your organization and that we can be a part of it. Can you tell us a little bit about the campaign that you launched in 2018 and how that's a little different than what the company itself does?
Yeah, for sure. So pretty much from 2014 to 2018, I scaled the brand primarily through social media. Instagram was kind of at the bottom of the wave in 2014. And our first big break as a company was about 5 months into it. In November of 2014, Instagram emailed me, and they were like, wow, we love your story. We love what you're doing. We want to feature you on Instagram's Instagram account. And at the time they had about 42 million followers. And so I emailed them back, and I was like, hey, how long do I have to prepare for something like this?
Right. I need some time.
And they're like, we're posting about you tomorrow. And
wow.
It was the day before Black Friday. So I called Tammy up. Tammy, how many blankets do we got? And she's like 20, so that was just the early months. And right. That was just a huge break. It was basically like you couldn't pay millions of dollars for that kind of advertising. And, right. I feel like we won the lottery in some regard. And then, so from that point on, I grew the brand almost 100% doing sales through Instagram from that point on for the first 4 years.
And it's amazing because you're working with some pretty big brands now. I'm sorry to interrupt, but when you say that, I'm like, this is amazing. If you did that from Instagram to, I saw Subaru and some other brands out there, right?
Yeah. So, we grew the brand primarily through influencers and influencer marketing, sending blankets to people that were traveling the world and taking photos, and I'd have them post a photo through their feed. So grew the brand from 2014 to 2018 online. And then in 2018, once we had about 1 million people following our brand, we launched our first major campaign called Blanket the United States. And our goal with the campaign is to donate 1 million blankets to homeless shelters by 2024. And what that did was it opened up the door for us to start working with companies who are interested in giving blankets as gifts to their employees or their customers. And in doing so, we're able to make a difference and make an impact in local communities around the United States. And within a week of launching the campaign, we partnered with Subaru in Oregon. They bought 2,500 blankets. Wow. And every Subaru purchase, it comes with a blanket, and we donated 2,500 blankets to homeless shelters. Shortly after that, a company bought 5,000. Shortly after that, a company bought 15,000. And just about a month ago, a mortgage company bought 20,000 blankets. And And so we have companies all around the United States in a lot of different vertical markets and a lot of different markets buying blankets to give as gifts and make a difference in their local community. And that's why we are excited to partner with you guys on the campaign.
So wait. Let me get this straight. Did you say 1 million blankets by 2024?
1 million. Yeah, we originally it was 250,000, but I just felt like that was actually doable.
Right.
Okay,
I was gonna say you guys are pretty much there at 250. So
Yeah.
So on that note, we're in, right, Natosha? Are we in?
yeah. So I was gonna say I think that's the initiative that we're part of, right? The notice.
Yeah. On that note, we're in. Let's get some blankets out there. We're purchasing a few.
Yeah, you guys are gifting blankets, and in doing so, we're able to make a difference in local shelters and programs. And as Natosha mentioned, we can donate blankets specifically to an organization that you guys recommend if there's one that you guys are passionate about that needs blankets. And if not, we work with over 500 shelters in the United States that we can help vet and bring to the table. The shelters that we work with too, we've created a database so you can actually view them at sackclothandashes.com/shelters. And when you type in your zip code, we show you all the homeless shelters in your area. So yeah, Blanket the United States is our #1 goal and our #1 campaign. And then just about 3 weeks ago, we launched our second campaign called Everyone is Someone. And Everyone is Someone is a children's line of blankets and a kid's book that I wrote. And for every little blanket and book purchase, we donate a blanket and book to a child in foster care. And so
Shut up. That is so cool.
Yeah. And so for us, we felt like the second campaign for our brand had to really do with foster care, because about 70% of kids in foster care end up incarcerated or on the street. And so if we're going to have a conversation about homelessness, we have to have a conversation about foster care. And so this was an easy one for us to kind of evolve into, and still addressing the same issue essentially. And but doing it in a way that our #1 goal as a brand is to highlight solutions and highlight organizations that are solving these particular problems. And so blankets are just a third-party object that's connecting us to amazing companies and amazing grassroots organizations. And Sackcloth and Ashes is ultimately just the bridge builder. The blankets are just a bridge that's connecting us to both sides.
Well, listen, I got to tell you real quickly, I know Tasha has a few more questions, so we won't take up too much more of your time, but when he mentions that we're helping purchasing the blankets, it's the NAP Nation. So if you're out there in the community, I want you to know every time that you do a trade, guess what, guys? You're getting a blanket too. So that's you buying the blanket, and you're donating in turn to this cause. You're going to help us reach that 1 million. And I love nothing more than an audacious goal. So that's why I was like, a million? Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're going to hit it. We're going to hit it.
Yes, sir.
So I had one more question for you. I was looking at the way that, my husband and I, a while back, a few years ago, decided to go vegan and vegetarian because we're really big on the environment and our impact on the environment. And so the thing that caught my eye is that you guys do all, create all your blankets with recycled, sustainable materials and not using water or dyes or anything that's going to go. Can you talk a little bit more about that and why you chose that route?
Yeah, for sure. We all of our fabric is primarily made in Florence, Italy, and it's made out of 100% recycled materials from shirts and sweatshirts, and that all gets separated and put into a grinder and turned into yarn. And we're really passionate about the sustainability aspect of our brand, so much so that we are working really hard. I have a team of people working really hard right now to by Earth Day of 2021, we're going to be 100% plastic free. And, we've opted into like 1% for the planet and that kind of stuff already, but it's something that we haven't really promoted as much, just because we feel like that's really the bottom of the barrel of what we should be doing as a brand. And our sustainability campaign that we're going to be launching on Earth Day is called Everything Matters. We believe every single thing matters, from the start to the finish, from the making of the fabric to the donation of the blanket. Every single thing matters throughout the entire process, even internally with our company. We really encourage and enforce sustainable practices amongst our company, even in the office, in our warehouse space and everything. And so that's the goal. You know, we want to set the bar when it comes to sustainability and really show that other companies, and especially new young companies, that just because you're sustainable in 10% of your company, more can be done. And if you want to be a sustainable company, you have to think through every avenue, and you need to make sacrifices in order to do so. And sometimes that comes to branding, and sometimes that comes to finances, and sometimes that it could be a lot of different avenues in which you'd have to sacrifice in order to be 100% sustainable. But that is the goal, and it's doable, and we're going to prove that.
Yes, sir. Well, that is huge. We're just so grateful to be associated with this. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to meet you at the Rams Hill event with all the craziness going on, right?
I know. We might be on lockdown.
It's a lockdown. Hey, man, if we miss it, just know that we're going to see you at the next one, because we're all in with Around the Box events. And so, you know, we're going to have those blankets flying around. Natosha, also, just thank you for she's providing the charity. She's been working with these guys for over 6-7 years. So thank you for that. You both are just wonderful.
Well, I want to say real fast to you, Bob. I know that we're probably you're probably younger than me or the same age as me, but I say this as a mom to be of a boy. Like, your mom must be so proud of you. You're doing such amazing things. It's really, I love to be surrounded by people that are giving back to not only their community, but really the world, and finding ways that they can be selfless and, you know, purposeful in all of their actions. So we're really excited and honored to be part of your initiative. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
blankets for Nat Nation.
I love that.
All right, Bob,
yeah, thank you guys for having me. Thanks for the partnership.
Of course. Take care, man. See you soon.
Right, we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye. Wow, that was amazing.
I know. I was like, I hope my son turns out. So,
I know, right? You're like, I'm gonna have a timeout for a mom moment.
I put pressure on this little kid already. I need you to do great things. No,
timeout for a mom moment. Well, look, here's already the reaction just from people. You know, just very excited to be part of it. And you know, this is what the community is about. So when he talks about starting a company and being cognizant from the beginning, I think that's something we were very, very dear to our heart, about making sure that we had a company from the beginning that was family friendly, right? One allowed us to grow. And so this was always something we wanted to do, was just have, you know, philanthropy. Hey, Kev.
Speaking of sons.
Speaking of my son, he just comes busting in, but hey, we love him. We love him. But yeah, Natosha, again, thank you so much, because you're going to be spearheading that arm of what's happening while you're here and with us, and maybe even in the background. But this is something that, you know, I'd love you to tell everyone a little bit more about the charity that we're going to be donating to, so they can, you know, it's in Santa Ana, right?
It's in Santa Ana. Their name is the Isaiah House. And so it's through the Southern California Catholic Workers. And this couple, maybe like 15 years ago, bought this home downtown in Santa Ana. And it's not really a shelter, but what they do is they 3 days a week, 3 to 4 days a week, they serve 3 hot meals a day, where people can come into their backyard and they have it all set up. I think it can fit like 100 people. They have a shower that they can take. They give them, they have clothes that are donated, and they let them shop. They have like a little shop they can come up and get their necessities, like razors and underwear and deodorant. And then they have books that they can rent out, but it's just a community, and they do this for them. And like the blankets are going to be so invaluable, especially as we go into winter, if winter happens here in California, but they're so invaluable.
Yeah, right around January, February, when we start getting them out, they're gonna be coming really handy. And I'm just excited about you having something for us to plug and play. We're gonna have a warm welcome. We're gonna have a camera crew out there, so you guys stick around. We're trying to do some big things. Before we leave, let's talk to them. We're talking about giving away all this money, all this blankets. Where are we getting all this profit from? I mean, where are we getting all this profit from?
The deals.
I swear we just dropped $10 million in UPB on the trade desk. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying. We've had a lot of activity on our trade desk. A lot of some even like new sellers that are coming to our trade desk, or people that came back from a while ago. People had been asking, you know, is inventory going to be a challenge at the end of the year? And we're seeing the quite opposite effect, where there's a lot more inventory coming our way. I mean, we have stuff really like in Wisconsin, Louisiana, Chicago. I know there's one in Chicago that you're really excited about. Florida. everywhere. But yeah.
Yeah, well, you got contracts in the toe, Colombia, all these places, South Carolina. So listen, without getting into that too much, just know that that's why we're here. We're here to profit, right? And then also to make sure that we're able to take care and give back. So thank you guys so much. We are well over our 15 minutes.
Well, this was hopefully it was worth it for everyone. This was
yes. All right. We're out here. Happy Friday, and we will see you next week.
See you tomorrow.
Oh, what is it? Lunch. Be
Coffee
safe.
nuts.
Yes.